Anyway, I think I was talking about a little bit about just how life has been going on. And guys, I just been busy. Things are great, things are going good, but it's just not getting caught into that whole buying frenzy. So I'm doing my very best to not go into a lot of my local nurseries. I snuck off about 2 days ago, and I went into there. We had an event. It was at my wife's job. We just set up a little booth in order to sell a couple of shirts, and the place we was originally supposed to be at was going to be a little bit bigger than where it was at. Well, it ended up being a very small place, and they had to relocate us. Well, they relocated us to a very small place. It was no way in the world. I mean, it was the size of like a break room. And the only way that that was going to work it for two people, not just one, for two people was setting up. And we bring our tables, all of that. We canceled all that. They did have some tables, and we set some stuff up there. And I told my wife, well, I didn't tell her. I just like, I parked all the way down there. So it's going to be a while for me to get down there because I was toting the wagon, taking it back to the truck because we won't gonna be able to use that stuff. And then I was like, but I may go to the plant store is just around the corner, which it was. And she was like, okay, fine. Just told me what time to be back. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Drove there, guys. I got in there, and oh my goodness, was I about to get into some trouble. Now, they had some plants in there that was not rare, but plants that I wanted to grow, but I just forgot about, like the Philodendron tortanium. I believe that's what it's pronounced. So I know I'm tearing that up. But I want to get one so bad. They're cool. They look like little palm trees. The leaves look like palm trees, just little sprouts, or more so just any type of palm. But it was $52, which wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't a bad price. $52 for a plant of a good size that's actually big, not very small, and it's something that you want. Remember, price is, you pay whatever it is that you're connected to a buy. Some people may be willing to pay $100 for a plant. I may only be willing to pay 50. Who am I to tell you what to pay for or not? So I saw that plant for 54, and I thought it was for a steal, but I just did not want to start that frenzy of, I start buying and then I fall into that rabbit hole, and before you know it, I have 2, 3, 4 other plants. So I'm letting that be. So that's how life been going in regards to the plant room. There is a couple of things, like 2 plants. The Majesty back there, I need to take this down, or is it the Majestic? I confused the 2. Majestic. The Majestic, I need to take it down and add an extension. Now, I actually have the extension right here. And you know what, guys? It's usually bad luck for me to touch my plants while we're on here. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to try this again and see if we can break this cycle. I'm going to be extending this plant one more time before I'm going to have to give her a chop. And you can tell the way the leaves are hanging on back here that it's time. Now, one of my friends on Instagram, Plants by D, she grows big, beautiful philodendrons. And last time I posted this plant on the story, she got on to me. She sent me a message and circled where I need to attach my node at. And I kid you all not, once I did that, this plant really, it pushed out 2 leaves in like 2 months. And the reason why it's not growing faster than what it is because I don't water my moss poles. Now, originally I had started watering them, and then I started dealing with a lot of yellowing, which was, it wasn't pests, so I knew that it was like a moisture issue going on. And then I heard that if you water your plants or spray them, mist them like daily, it can cause them to carry fungus or bacteria a little bit more. So I don't know. I don't believe in that because I've been misting and watering my plants ever since I had them and never had of such. But I'm just spreading the information, guys. I'm looking for a zip tie. And of course, I can't find it. But I do have the scissors. That's the good thing. I do have, oh, we found some. And I actually found some better scissors. I did not want to do no cuts with that. So yeah. So this, get on here because guys, I want to make sure. I know this is rude. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you all the right name. Yes, this is the Philodendron majestic. I get them confused all the time, and I would hate to be up here not knowing what I'm talking about. But the Philodendron majestic, guys, is just like any other philodendron. It grows really fast, really healthy, and I hate to say it, but you almost have to be really, really just neglectful in order for your bigger leaf philodendrons to get pest and you don't recognize them. I've been able to recognize that I had a yellow leaf going on in here, and when I got closer, it looked like something was crawling. Not mealy bugs. I wouldn't say it was thrips. I couldn't really tell what it was, but I immediately got in there with that spray, and it only took a week. And I don't know if that's normal or not, but I noticed that when my big leaf philodendrons or um, Hoyas, and it also is another plant, Madrinians. When when they get pests and you go ahead and immediately get on them right away, they usually clear up a lot faster than your smaller leaf plants. And I don't know if it's because the bugs hide better under them, but I just find it to be a little bit more stressful dealing with the smaller plants than the big plants when it comes to pests. Now, unless you got some thrips, now you got thrips, that's a whole nother thing. And so they have some rubber bands right here, and I'm guessing the rubber band is maybe that supposed to give it an attachment or help out some, but this is what I'm gonna do. I usually put zip ties on these on the side. Let me see if I could bring it. I'm a little worried, guys, because this plant's getting a little bit taller, which means you see the weight that's bearing, and I don't want this plant to fall. But this is where I'm gonna put my zip ties at, and I'm not gonna do it right now. I do see it. Okay, guys, so we're going to play this game. Can I trust you all to watch this plant and don't let it fall? Okay, if it falls, we're not doing this again. Boom. All right, seems that I can trust y'all. All right, so here we go. And also, too, I have not shaved the back of my head, so I'm a little insecure about that. I probably brought it to your attention, but I usually shave my head every 2 days. But guys, I got other stuff to be doing with my time. So I just been putting a hat on. Now I just so happen to have my hat off because we in the house and we chilling. You know when you have those days that you just, you're not just existing, but you're just doing what you know needs to get done, you know? And if you all have wrote something in the box, just give me 1 second. I'm going to get to it. I just want to go ahead and get this tied up. And I'm just pushing the zip ties. I should bring this closer. I'm sorry, guys. Show you what I'm doing. So I'm just putting the zip ties in here. So they have little holes right here on the side. And since I want to connect this, I don't want this to fall off or tumble over. That's what I'm doing. Uh-oh. And it's on the wrong side. Gosh, that's embarrassing. All right, let's try this again. Oh, that's even more embarrassing. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna twist this. There we go. I was about to say. All right. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna see how far back we can get. Okay. All right, and here we go. We have her. All right, so let's talk about the care needs on this plant. Philodendrons, they love a nice chunky airy mix. You want to make sure that you water these plants when they dry. Now, when you're big big leaf philodendrons, when they show signs of dehydration, their leaves usually start leaning forward. You know, our smaller philodendrons, their leaves or pothos, they start curling. These are just too big to curl. So they're just going to lean forward and you're going to recognize it. Now, this plant right here is used to growing to get to that light, and that's the reason why this one has been in here. But just imagine that these are how these leaves usually look. This is how the leaf would look if it's thirsty. So that's how you know to look for water when it's dry. Next is your light. These plants love light. Now, philodendrons, monsteras, all of my plants, they receive a little bit of bright sunlight to come through and hit their leaves sometimes. They have been perfectly fine and they have never been fried before. Now, I will say in regards to this one particular though, that it has never sat by the window to receive enough light to really be able just to say full confident you can let this plant touch the sun can touch the leaves. But most philodendrons and my monsteras, they don't mind it. And I'm just assuming that if this was to happen, fine. But I'm telling you that so you don't go and try. Don't place it by the window and say, Sean told me I could do it. And then you come back, your plant's fried. And I got to explain. That's my explanation. I'm going to allow this plant to grow up to the top of here, which will probably, the way that this plant grows, it looks like it's going to give me one leaf here and it'll give me another leaf there. Once that happens, then I'm going to go down at some point, probably here, cut this plant and let it go, which what we're going to do, since we're hopping on here live a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and do what's called air propagating, in which you take moss, let's see. We're going to take our sphagnum moss like this right here. And I might even keep a little bit of perlite in here. Maybe not so. And we're going to get our graphing tape and we're going to go behind these nodes and we're going to start air propagating. And what that's going to do is allow us to develop our roots. So it's going to be a whole root system basically going on there. So that way when we cut, we could put it right into a pot and let it grow from there and skip all the putting in water, wait for the water propagate, which I would say the best propagation, if you can choose, will be water, hands down, but it's also the longest way for a plant to go. My advice is if you can grow a plant in perlite and moss, or I keep on saying moss, but if you can grow it in something like this, you're gonna be good to go. But yeah, so and I think we talked a little bit about the light. We talked a little bit about the size. Let me make sure I didn't skip anything down here. If you all have any questions, go ahead and ask away. I know I was rambling for a while. Hey, Miss Lady June. Hey, Addy Kramer. No, I'm tearing that up. Mom B. At what height? Oh, it just. Bambi, at what height do you think you'll have to trim the moss pole? Um, Moss poles, you can take them up as far as you want them to go. I mean, if my ceiling wasn't here and if it was all the way up, they can go as far up as you want to go. I'm just going to reach the top and I'm not going to be able to get to it. And probably, I'm going to have to move the Rhaphodorphia back there. I don't know if you see that. That's basically on the wall. It is touching the ceiling, so there's nowhere for that to even go. I'm working on getting that plant to go all the way around. And I'm working on the one that you see over here to also go all the way around the room. But yeah, when it comes to the moss poles, as far as you want to go, see, if I had this plant right here that would sit on the floor, then I would take it on up higher, which has me thinking maybe that's something I need to do. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing how tall I could get this baby to go. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty awesome. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's been back there on the wall for so long, but maybe she's outgrown her space there. I don't know. Got me thinking. That was a good question. All right. So let's get into. Told you all my topics was going to come in handy. All right. All right. Okay. That's a good one. Some things that I have been noticing. I know I say in my room, I don't really deal a whole lot with change as the season comes around. But just a few things that are I am noticing is that my plants are slowing down a little bit as far as growing. Um, they still are popping out leaves and they're still doing fine and they still have their vibrant colors, but not moving at half the speed it was. I mean, right there towards that late July, beginning of August, that's when things really, really start. Good morning, Gigi. That's when things really, really started taking off and just growing. And then I still through October, I was still getting a couple of leaves that was unfurling, but then it started to slow down right there when I got to November. I was like, oh, okay. And in December, we just like, I know it's still the beginning, but I think that what's going to be is going to be. But as you can still see, we have a little bit of growth going on here. So that's going to be the plan here. If I do stand this plan up, though, I am going to have to get some type of support system because as you can see, this is going. Now I have a couple of, I don't know exactly what size they are, but I would say they're probably about 4 feet long. I just bought them out of Home Depot. I think there was like $4.36. Yeah. I'm gonna have to bring the plant closer because I don't know what I did, but it was standing until I touched it, and then I made it angry. Okay. I do not have a fiddle leaf plant. I do have, what's it called? I cannot think of the name of my mind went completely blank. It's in that family though. It's not a fiddle leaf, but they grow really slow, and mine just seems like it just wants to stop growing. Let me see if I can get. Let me see if I can get this plant propped up on something. Hold on a minute. Actually, let's put her on the wall, and I'm gonna show you what I have. All right, let's see how to do this. Oh, science here. I'm gonna have to move. Oh, guys, my epirilium. I'm gonna have to show her to you. She is looking really beautiful. All right, here we go. I get nervous every time I have to deal with my plants, guys. You know how hard it would be on me to drop one of these and break its leaves. Okay. It's on there for now. Not the way I want it to be, but I'm gonna circle back. Take a look here, guys. Yeah, she is beautiful. Now this is a Epiridium pennatum. I know I'll be tearing them names up, but yeah. Once I put this, like get a stake or something put behind it, this plant's gonna start fenestrating, and it looks beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right. Now I'm gonna go get that plant, and you all can remind me of the name of it. Now don't judge it, okay? Y'all not gonna believe this. I wanted to try to wipe some of the dust off. Y'all not gonna believe ficus. That's the name of it. I thought of it as I was going there, but yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They grow so slow, and most people are telling me that the reason why it's growing so slow is because it needs more light. So that's more of a my issue type of thing, I guess. But I set it by the window. It doesn't get much more light than that. Like the window right here coming in, I set it at the height of the window and it still is moving slow. So I don't know. I don't know. But the plant, I promise you, it looks like the exact same since I bought it. And I've had this plant for about a year, maybe 2 years. Who knows? Who knows? But that's funny because my next subject was being patient. I've been pretty patient with most of my plants. I don't get rid of a plant. I just figure out that if a plant isn't working, it has to be me. I mean, when I went to the store and bought the plant, it was doing fine. So I also learned that some plants just aren't meant for me. You know, they kick my butt, and I need to just leave them alone. But I can't help it. I just have to grow it again. Um, Beautiful plants. Thank you. I missed somebody else commenting here too. I'm sorry, guys. Fike is Sleepy Jungle. How you doing? All right. Are there any particular plants, guys, that you want me to go over or talk about? I'm not going to make this live about all these steps to do this and do that. The whole purpose of this is so I have some people to talk to about an interest that I like, and just to give you all my cold feelings about how I feel about a lot of it. Um, yeah. I wish there was a way all of these would that could just stay on there. Has anybody done any holiday shopping yet? Because I'm going to tell you something, what I did. I did probably the laziest shopping I've ever done this year. So I ordered everything, well, in a 2 day span. My mom had already gave me some money. Let's see. Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. My mom gave me some money to go ahead and help her with the kids' gifts. Every year, I just tell her what the kids want, and my mom is she's at that age. She don't know where anything is at, or don't want to deal with the whole ordering online and all of that. She will do it. Now, that is one thing I would say. My mom, I don't know what hit her. Me and my wife, we still talk about this. We don't know what just woke up in my mom and just made her want to just start like just doing stuff and get out. She went from not barely wanting to go downtown was such a big event to we're trying to find her, and she just said, yeah, I'll take the train on up to New York so I can get, I'm like, okay. It has been flying out the country and all that. She told me last year, this is my mom who I'm used to not doing anything. Now, when we was growing up, we didn't go to the beach, nothing. She didn't, it was hard through the divorce, kids, I guess, all that. Now being an adult, I understand now other stuff. Me being a kid, then I just want to know why we wasn't going to the beach, because that's where I wanted to go. But yeah, my mom tells me, just casually, she's like, yeah, this year I'm not going to Mexico this year. I'm just going to sit that one out. I done been there so many times. I already know what to expect. Like, okay. Like, she actually went to the DR and had people out there that she knew. I was like, who is this lady? But anyway, every year for Christmas, I usually just tell her what the kids want, all of that, and she just sends me the money, and I just go ahead and buy all the stuff. Then I wrap it on up, put it from grandma, blah, blah, blah. This year, I did the same thing. I knew exactly what I was gonna get the kids based off of their list. I have them write out what they want, and that's how we distribute. Now, my daughter was still trying to figure out if she still believes in Santa or not. I believe that Avery ruined that for her. That's my oldest son. Because we asked him, did you say something to your sister about it? Because she seemed very just upset, and he was just like, I mean, she's in the third grade. She needs to know. And we was like, well, did you tell her? And he's like, I can't remember exactly how he worded it or how he said it, but he didn't confirm or deny it. So yeah, but she still seems to be in good spirits, but I guess I should ask her, but I don't know if she would ever say, you got two type of kids. My daughter, bless her, that girl will shoot you a straight face cold lie so quick before you even notice it. I mean, she just would do it. I'm just like, why are you doing this? And my son, he's more so he's the logical thinker, and he puts no emotion behind anything. Like, he gets on my nerve, but I really really respect the guy, because once he believes in something, that's what he believes in. He sticks to it. Is no whatever to it, and until he's ready to move on, that's when he moves on. Like, It's hard when trying to raise a kid though, because you just want them to say, hey, this was wrong because of this. And when he doesn't see that point, it can be a little bit stressful. But anyway, I go to say this. I ordered their stuff and I also ordered my wife's stuff. Like, I knew exactly what it was that she needed. That's what we always do. We just buy the people stuff that they need. I knew exactly what she needed. I ordered all that, so I'm done. The only thing I need to do is just wait for everything to come here. And I'm hoping, I think they said it was going to be like a weekend delivery. I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday, that my daughter could be upstairs in the room or something and she don't see it. Because, sometimes these boxes will put exactly what the stuff is. Again, I didn't go and do anything crazy. I don't want to reveal what it is because sometimes my son might be hopping on here watching and he gonna find out. But that's pretty much how my Christmas shopping has been so far. Plants, I do not have any plants on my plant wish list, believe it or not. Let's see here. While we're talking, I could just be showing you a couple of plants. Let me show you my red Congo, guys. Now, this plant recently just took off. So, as you can see, I think we might have talked about it. This was like one leaf or right here. And then look how big that leaf just shot up to. It went from this leaf to boom, and then boom. And so you can even see where that root, it got a little bit bigger. Let me turn it so you can see. Maybe, can you see a little bit? You can see how small, it was very narrow right here. Kind of hard to show. I'm sorry. Maybe here? Anyway, it was very narrow there, and then it turned around and just got to be huge right there. So that has me happy. Has me happy. I need to put some water in there, though. I could feel it in that pot. Beautiful leaves. Thanks. Yeah. Now let me show you. Hold on. Let's see here. That's there. I want to show you I want to show you the philodendron orange marmalade. Now it's so beautiful. I wish that the leaves stayed the same for a while. Once it blooms, okay, hold on. This is one of the plants on a moss pole that I have tied to the wall. Because guys, last thing that I want is my plants to fall. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I'm gonna have to go this way. All right. So this is the orange marmalade and it needs some water. You can see the leaves are very tight looking. That's an indicator. Most of the leaves should look like how that one does. I don't know why that one has a wrinkle yet. Maybe it's just the OG. But right there, when the leaves come in, they get to be just this dark. But when they first come in, it's completely red. I actually have one right here, a leaf that's stuck. So this is what I do with my leaves that are stuck. Let me put it somewhere so it's at a good height that you can see. Can you see it like this? Let's see. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. We'll put it on something. This table. Boom. Perfect. Now I still need to get the water and Q-tip. Now, if there's anything I could tell you is that philodendrons are known to have stuck leaves in the wintertime. That humidity really plays an effect on them. So what I do is I just water this and then I'm gonna let it sit there for about 2 minutes to let it softens up. Funny story about this philodendron though, while we're letting that soak up. Well, I'll just hold it. So funny thing about this plant, I went to Ace Hardware store and I couldn't find no pretty plants there at all. I went in there just look. I was very disappointed with the selection. They was very small, and on top of that, they was completely overpriced. So I made my video about how I went there. I didn't fuss out the video or nothing like that, but I just was saying, hey, I went there and I was just couldn't find no plant, guys. So I still saw where I just couldn't let it rest there. I just wanted to know because it still sell plants, so I needed to know. It's like a person who says they don't eat McDonald's, but McDonald's lines are always packed in the road. Anyway, so we went there. I went there, and they had a pretty decent selection. Still didn't have this, but I was like, okay, well, they're stepping that game up. Still didn't want to buy. I went there that following week. What got me in the store is that they're actually one of the very small big box stores, in my opinion. I call them big box because, I mean, you could see them in different states. Ace. Yeah, I think. Anywho, they carry a soil mix. That orchid one that's already pre-mixed, they're the only ones that carry it unless you go to your local nursery stores. Now, I will say this. All the stores sell it at the same price. So either all of them agree for a high price or all of them are selling it at a comfortable price. $10 for that mix is a really good price for me. And to have that, what it comes with, you can't beat that. So that's what I was there for. Ended up running across this plant. Now, it was a lot smaller than this. I mean, it took off. And quite honestly, when I bought this plant, I was still in there. I just want to buy stuff. And the plant was actually kind of ugly to me. So I just bought it just because it was cool looking. I was like, okay. And then I thought that the plant was just dehydrated and that the leaves would kick all the way out straight. Nope. This is how the plant was going to look. Now, they even had it labeled wrong. They had it labeled as a philodendron painted lady. And what do you think I started calling it? Because it was labeled a painted lady. That's what I called it, a painted lady. So somebody, one of their Instagram friends was like, no, that's not. That's an orange marmalade. And I looked it up, and there's like 2 or 3 different variations of orange marmalade. So you'll get one that has like the leaf that's like kind of round in the hearts that you usually used to seeing with your philodendrons. But if you keep on looking, you're going to run across these. And you'll see that the color comes in almost like a reddish orange. And then after a while, it fades off to that dark green, and then it's done. And then another one comes. But let's see here. I believe this is soft enough now for us to go ahead and pop. Now, let's see. I want you all to be able to see me do this. So, should we do it like this and bring you in, or do I have a table? Let's see here. All right, only for y'all. We're gonna balance here. Oh, we got that, all right. Gonna slide here. And maybe I'm learning to have a table ready the next time. In here. We made it work. All right, so, this is gonna be difficult. So now I have to look at the angle of how to work this. And I actually, guys, it's going to be easier for me to get it from this angle. So let's see. I don't want to block y'all vision, but I also don't want to tear my plant up just to get a video. All right. Oh, guys, we on to it. Okay. Whew. Was that intense or what? All right, guys. She has been separated. So, as you can see this red color leaf, that's how the plant comes in. And then it turns around and turns to this green color. Man, I'm telling you, that was a lot. All right, guys. But yeah, that's the orange marmalade on there. You all, if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get off in a little while because I actually need to be doing some filming, and it just hopped in my head. I've been on here for a while. I just looked at the time and I was like, oh, this was just supposed to be 10 minutes. So, but I have a good time, and you all know I love to talk. So This is right up my alley. I don't understand why I didn't get on live a little bit sooner. I think I was worried about messing up. If I hop on there, I say the wrong thing, or hold on one second, guys. Let me tie this plant. Or you hear me say a bad thing. All right. Yeah, I was a little worried about hopping on live and being like, what if I say or do the wrong thing in that moment? So I was just so nervous, but then I realized I don't really have anything to be nervous for. So, but yeah. Well, let me see if you all have something in the comment, and if not, then I'm gonna hop off of here. Okay, well, we good then. All right, guys. So what I am gonna do is take a couple of pictures to post to my Instagram of some of the plants in here. Definitely if I remember that majestic that we just did. But anyway, guys, it's been real. Y'all take care.